Hello everyone and welcome back to Kali Call of Darkness, Season 3, Episode 9. Everyone has a weak spot. You have to protect yours and hit your enemies at Shoal's heel. Episode 9, Kalipuya. Oh, finally Kalipuya.
The Messias, what the sect is really talking about. That's the one who starts Kali Yuga.
Oh, but hasn't it already started? Who is this person? Who will start all this?
If this was common knowledge, no one in the dozen would argue about the beginning of a new Yuga.
So they do not agree with each other? Some think it has begun, but others believe that it is yet to happen.
There are different opinions. Some people think that global disasters are clearly signs of the Dark Mother's imminent arrival. Others think that she's already here.
In us. I have to say it, I keep on holding on to that theory that we're her. My heart skipped a beat. I unconsciously rubbed the finger on which I had worn AMRIT's ring. Ratan, what if I've seen her already?
Mahadevi?
Yeah, she came to me. Goodness, Kali, I remember. Serve me to appease my anger. Obey me to save lives. Follow my path to earn my mercy. Act, my child. I don't know what's supposed to mean. Did she call me to serve her?
Nothing is certain. This message is for you only. I would advise you to keep quiet about it. If Mahadevi Kali wanted everyone to know, she would have appeared to everyone, not just to you. Ratan looked at me pointedly, as if trying to convince me to follow his advice. Keep quiet. He can talk openly about many things to avoid getting us in trouble. Is he warning me? You've seen the Dark Mother, and that says a lot. Nevertheless, Kalipuya is just around the corner. It is a significant event. The end of the cycle that should appease Mahadevi's wrath. That's when you'll find what you're looking for.
The end of the cycle, the end of the sacrifices. It'll finally be over. I'll finally be able to breathe freely and go back to London.
What will happen will depend on the decisions you made in the past.
We got up from the sofa and headed for the door. I'd be happy to see you at the Puya. Will you have recovered by then?
Not fully, but I'll have more strength. Thank you for your care, Amala.
I want you to be okay. I'm sad. When I was done, AMRIT came out to say goodbye to me. Nah. He nodded at Shika standing next to him again.
He'll take you home. Of course he does.
Who says I'm going home?
Wherever you're going, he'll take you. Just be quick, Shika. I need to go to the Kaligat.
Then let him drive you instead.
Of course.
The Kaligat? What is he going to do there? Test the durability of a bed frame together with the Devadasi? That's funny. That's ridiculous. Calm down, Amala. Calm down. You know perfectly well that he only needs you. That's what she was concerned about. That he was gonna go there to sleep with some random Devadasi. Damn it. Why the hell is he going there? The jealousy. My sudden change in expression. AMRIT smirked mockingly.
Uh-oh, don't burst into flames, please.
Oh, shut up, AMRIT. Why would I?
The Kaligat brought back unpleasant memories.
All your fault, sir. I wouldn't have unpleasant memories if you would have acted normally. Instead of making me see you sleep with some random Devadasi. Aren't they pleasant for you? Oh! He literally is like in the middle of this. And he's like, I'm not having this. I think he would wish to could just disappear. Yeah, AMRIT, silence in the room. Device case spell checker. Yeah, leave, sir. Sharp like a dagger, he waved his hand dismissively. The servant disappeared in the blink of an eye. I knew it.
So, where were we?
Leaning against the door frame, AMRIT frowned. I'm fine. Go wherever you want.
Of course I will. I have a lot to prepare before the puja starts. But do you know who my sinful thoughts will all be about?
Definitely not about me. Yashvi's This is so iconic. I'm living for this. This is me like she's actually me. I have to say it every single time again because this is insane. Yashvi swaying her hips.
My jealous Maharani. I love that pouty little face of yours.
The fact that he's blushed.
And your face, your pretty eyes, of course.
He's having fun. He doesn't see the problem because we've already talked about this. Well, I'm not over it yet, so I'll give him something to have sinful thoughts about. Yeah, seduce him, and leave him high and dry. Young master, bear in mind this fact. I took a step closer without taking my eyes off Amrit, who was studying me with curiosity. My pretty eyes can be feisty, or pressing my body against his, I arched my back like a cat begging to be petted. I am weak. I shamelessly ran one hand down Amrit's chest and buried the other one in his dark curly hair. He has beautiful hair, though. They can be full of lust. Sometimes I imagine things I'm ashamed to say out loud. Oh, I'm living. I bit my lip seductively, reaching out to him.
And what do you imagine?
Amrit couldn't help himself and put his hand on my thigh. You, me, in a variety of places and in a variety of positions. That's so funny. Let's go, you know what? Let's go. He leaned over to kiss me, but my lips grazed his cheek, instead getting close to his ear. Amrit hugged me tighter. Imagine this. We're at some important function. I'm wearing a tight-fitting sari, and you've been looking at me all evening dreaming of taking it off. Honestly, go off. You can't take it anymore, so we sneak away. I kept whispering in his ear, my hot breath against his neck. We find ourselves in a garden, just the two of us. And you take me without even bothering to take my clothes off, just pulling up my skirt. I lick and bite your fingers, which you then... I think that's too much for him. Amrit gave in and captured my lips, holding my chin with his hand to stop me from turning away. He was clearly turned on by what I was doing and saying, and his kiss was rough, full of passion. Opening my mouth slightly, I let Amrit trace my lips with his fingers so that he could vividly imagine the scene I had just described to him. He wants to imagine that scene. Seriously now? His gaze darkened and he said, his voice hoarse.
Do you want to take a walk in the garden right now?
I thought you had to leave. Maybe later. Do you know what I really want? I want you to remember me, this fantasy, and my hands. I ran my fingers on his body. You know what? Same. Slowly making my way down his hips and between his legs, the fabric of his trousers already straining. Ooh! They can caress you or strangle you in your sleep. That, though. Try to cheat on me and I'm gonna murder you. Ooh! He understood. Amrit blinked as if coming to his senses.
You sly fox.
Me? I didn't do anything. I'm sorry, but this is only justice. Like, he has been so proudly announcing the chemistry that or connection that we have for one another, and has been making fun of that he knows that we can't say no to him, and now that we do the same, he is mad about it. Like, sir, this is only justice. Yet he seemed to like my last words no less than the ones that came before. You're free to do whatever you want, but don't play with my feelings. That, though, Amala, are still bothered by a mere temple dancer. Sir, the fact that you still know means that it left an impression on you. The fact is and remains that.
Maharani, I didn't pursue you for so long just to sneak away to be with someone who couldn't possibly be compared to you.
I know. I'm just reminding you what I'm capable of. This is the jealousy. This is being possessive, sir. Take the notes.
Oh, then maybe I should provoke you more often, in order to get more reminders like this one.
Yes, Amrit is crazy about you. Same. I pulled away even if Amrit didn't want to let me out of his embrace. Honey, you have to leave. Didn't you say that you have so much to prepare? We didn't have time to talk any longer.
By the way, I wanted to warn you, Father sent Jaya, Banerjee and Lalit, my cousin, to go visit your brother.
Alone?
If Kiran isn't at home, you don't have to worry. He'll be with them. They'll bring him back safe and sound.
What? What are you talking about? Who gave him permission?
Don't worry, there are no malicious intents behind this. I think my father just wants to introduce him to the local social life.
Right.
To introduce him to the customs and help him integrate into the culture.
Why didn't you tell me earlier? What if I was against it? How do I know he's safe? Amrit, that's not how this should work.
Stop worrying, Amala. Kiran Basu is part of the new generation of the Dozen, or a legacy. Whether you want it or not, he has the right to know what kind of society his family grew up in. There is nothing bad about having lunch with two noble and educated girls, especially since they won't be alone. You should be happy for him, not freak out. I'll see you at the Puyam, Amala.
Amrit said goodbye and walked away. As soon as he was out of sight, Shekhar appeared in the hallway. He led me to the gates of the Dubai's estate. This is rude. As we stopped in front of the embassy, a thought came to me. If Shekhar is always with Amrit, surely he knows where he was when my house was broken into. Shekhar opened the door for me. He was about to drive back, but I stopped him. Shekhar, you always accompany Amrit, don't you?
Yes, I'm his main attendant.
Even though he smacked him. She couldn't be more obvious. I was looking for him. I needed to talk to him urgently, but I couldn't find him.
You didn't even come to the house, miss.
No, but I called. Shekhar looked at me sternly from under his brow, but didn't dare be rude.
Miss, I know what you're trying to do, but he was just going about his usual business. And yesterday I helped Madheva Shiva when he came to the Dubai's place in his weakened state. Madheva didn't say what happened, and for the rest of the day the young master was too busy complaining and waiting for you to show up to do anything else.
Very funny. Fine, there's nothing funny about that. I feel so guilty about Ratan. Thanks, you're not lying, right?
If I'm lying, may I not live to wake up tomorrow morning? He asked me to deal with it, miss.
Deal with what?
With someone breaking into your house. Please tell me if anything's missing. Mr. Dubai has a few suspicions, but we need to know.
Nothing valuable, just my brother's toothbrush. Shekhar looked confused for a moment. At first he looked surprised, but then he seemed scared. What? What's the matter?
That's weird. A toothbrush makes no sense, except it's a physical part.
Explain?
It's used for rituals. I've seen and learned a lot over the years, accompanying Mr. Dubai and carrying out his orders. When a certain action or ritual involves a specific person, a part of them is needed for it to work. It should be something that the person uses every day, since hair or clothes cannot be a vehicle for active energy.
Do not tell me that bitch, Mrs. Chauhan, actually took his toothbrush. We know that she had some herbs or just a book where there was a spell in it that could be used to make someone go crazy. Girl, you're walking into dangerous territories.
That changes every day, especially if we experience shock, strong emotions, or change our energy on purpose.
On purpose?
Yes, using meditation, infusions, tantras.
Are you saying that someone is preparing some kind of ritual for my brother?
No, miss. Or I can say for sure, we need to check.
You've crossed Amrit off the list of suspects and also learned an important detail. Let's go. I felt completely shocked. Taking advantage of my hesitation, Shekhar bid me a hasty goodbye, telling me to take care of my brother, and drove off. I walked into the embassy. If I don't deal with this before the end of Kali Puja, when Mahadevi's power will reach its peak, I will simply lose. The sect will do everything they set out to do, and I won't be able to do anything about it. Maybe something even worse will happen, something we don't even expect. 2 hours earlier. Place Kiran. Okay.
While I was awake, Iran managed to have
While I was awake, Kiran managed to have breakfast, read, and even work on some school assignments. However, time passed slowly and he grew bored.
I'd be happy to go for a walk, but Amala would kill me for even thinking about it.
Kiran.
She's always fuzzing over me. We're not in that village anymore. Who'd want to hurt me here? Although, considering what happened yesterday...
Kiran.
What a weird place is this. What the hell are we doing here? Mala's constantly stressed and upset. Nothing is worth so much grief. Things already weren't easy for her in London.
The memory of that creepy village had never left him since he had returned home. Oh, my poor child. Yeah, he's traumatized.
You don't deserve to live. We were killed, so you also need to lie in the ground with us.
You rotten apple, like all the bitches you're in your nasty family. You'll pay for it twice, bitch. Ooh! Your hands are covered in blood.
This is actually so rude.
How dare you touch what I'm supposed to protect? How dare you stand up against me?
This is actually so rude, though. This is actually so rude. They were all murdered there. They were all murdered. They were massacred. Just because our grandma and our mother didn't want to sacrifice themselves. Like, this is so brutal. Most of all, he remembered the whisper, constant, intelligible loud. Kiran almost jumped out of his skin when he heard a timid knock on the door, then another one, more insistent.
Bloody hell, that scared me to death. I've been so jittery lately, all this gloomy shit on my mind.
He went to the door and asked who was there. You know what? Ask who's there. To his surprise, he heard a female voice. Independence, okay. Open the door, Basu.
Is that Lalit?
Lalit Sharma and Yaya Banerjee were standing outside. The first gave Kiran a praising look, the second just smiled.
Good afternoon, Kiran. I hope we aren't bothering you. He's sitting in here by himself. He should be happy.
Girl, be nice.
Hi, and I think I remember you.
The maid standing on step behind the young woman nodded timidly. Oh, Madhu.
Yes, young master. I serve in Dubai's house, and I'm accompanying the girls.
Kiran wanted to be friendly and invite the guests to come inside, but suddenly he started having doubts.
Everything we've seen in the village was the work of the Dubais. Was with this surprise visit? Or have you come to see Amala? I won't be rude. You can't hurt me, right?
I wouldn't be so sure about that. No, she's at my family's home right now. We've come to see you. Alright, my father told us to come.
Your father? What does he want from me?
You know you're supposed to invite your guests in, right?
No. No, but I wasn't expecting you. And until you tell me where you've come, we're good right here. Kiran. Like, Amala thinks he's just a little kid and he needs so much protection, but he's actually got his thoughts together. Like, he got his act together.
Yes, I'm sorry we've showed up unannounced. We just wanted to invite you out to lunch.
Lunch?
Yes, we just thought maybe you'd like to chat with us, eat together, and ask about local affairs. Amala knows we're here, Mr. Devadas Dubai warned her.
Lies! He didn't warn us!
Madhu and the driver will accompany us. There's a nice restaurant nearby. They have private rooms for special guests.
Oh, I see. Having lunch with Yaya and Lalita. They really take me seriously. They're not laughing at me, thinking I'm just some intruder. Do they really respect me and my family? Nah, this is ridiculous. Because Devadas never said anything to us. He never said anything. That's a lie. On the one hand, it could be really fun. on the other. It's an excuse to get closer to Yaya. She's so cute. What if I can learn something interesting from them? I want to prove that I'm a grown-up and I can also be useful.
Well, honey, you are. But you don't have to. One choice will give you new information. The other will also help Kiran and Yaya get closer. At this point, I don't even know if I want him and her to be closer. Because I feel like she's playing him. But now that I think about it, if she's playing him, he's playing her. You get what you give, okay? If you play me, I'm gonna play you. I'll come for your sake, Yaya. I'll come for your sake.
I promise to help you practice your English, and you can help me with Bengali.
Are you really interested in the language?
I want to understand you better. You, Yaya.
You in particular, like your motives, not your language. Yaya blushed and nodded. Slamming the door, Kiran left the house. They were escorted to a beautiful private hall with a magnificent view of the city. There was only one table, which meant complete privacy and excellent service. Lalit and Yaya sat down on the pillows. They looked as if they had been frequenting that place with their parents and were used to it. They probably did.
The rich life of the local elite. What am I doing here?
Honey, you are an elite. Yaya gave a detailed description of her favorite dishes on the menu and offered recommendations. Lalit ordered straight away and started drinking her tea, her expression aloof. She watched Kiran and Yaya laughing together, clearly enjoying their conversation.
Yeah, that's uncle for you.
Grinning, Lalit made her remark loud enough to interrupt them.
What do you mean? Everything he does is calculated. There's a reason behind his every action.
Yes, I realized.
Well, that's what Mr. Devadas needs to do, right? He's a wise leader.
A wise leader, more like shady leader, girl.
So what would be the purpose of dragging me here?
He probably wants us to become friends so that you'll decide to stay here. Although a man, you're still a Basu. If you stay, your Amala will stay.
My Amala?
Your sister.
And where is Rishi? Or girls are the only ones who can possibly pursue me to stay.
Lalit glanced at Yaya mockingly.
Yes, Yaya. Where's Rishi? I don't know.
Lies.
Rishi's constantly busy with other father's affairs. He has no time to hang out. Although if he knew Yaya was going to be here, he would have probably made an exception.
Please stop. Oh, you wanted to come here alone, girl?
Father's affairs? Your sect or what?
Why yours? It's yours too. You don't think so? You don't believe it's all for a good cause?
This is absurd. I'm sorry. I understand perhaps due to their beliefs. They think that if they don't serve Kali, that they're gonna she's gonna destroy the world. But to continue to keep on sacrificing people for her, that's not okay.
This is Yuga. Yours is coming anyway. There is no point in killing people. It's cruel and wrong.
Oh, cry me a river. Imagine billions dying in terrible agony. And it could have been prevented, but you didn't because of your foolish compassion.
It has nothing to do with compassion. I mean, it has to do with compassion, of course. But this is not the way. This is not the way to go. Like, they think they are preventing a bigger evil by committing the lesser evil. But you are still committing evil. The conversation gradually winded down when the food arrived. Lalit, whose lipstick was now on the teacup, went to the bathroom to fix her makeup. Oh my gosh. Karen. Kiran and Yaya were left alone.
I'm glad you agreed to have lunch. It's a chance to get to know you better.
What would you like to know about me?
Well, for example, which sports do you like? Do you have many friends in London?
I love basketball, and I have many friends.
Do you miss them?
Sometimes, but not right now. I'm perfectly happy in your company.
Aww, Kiran. Yaya looked at Kiran. He was delighted to notice that her cheeks turned a little pink. Kiran wanted to make a joke, but instead accidentally touched her fingers under the table. He was in no hurry to move his hand away.
It's beautiful here, and the weather is nice.
Yaya's happy that Kiran is paying her so much attention. This can be the start of something. Yaya also kept her hand still touching Kiran. Even something so innocent was enough to make her heart beat faster.
Yes, this is a picturesque place.
God, her skin is so soft and she has such delicate fingers.
Don't get mad, Lid. She can be a little blunt at times. She went through a lot before she got married. She's hot-tempered, and the Dubais are strict about that sort of thing. The sparks trapped inside her can turn into a flame at times, and Mr. Vimal and Rishi are constantly matched before the festival. I think that's why she's in a bad mood too.
Why?
They have a lot of work to do, and the closer the festival gets, the closer the Messiah's reveal will be. Mr. Vimal doesn't like this topic, he's afraid of it.
The Messiah?
Yes, the one who's coming was foretold by the deceased Dubai's Brahim. Not Evadas has taken his place, but he won't talk about it. But everyone in the thousand knows that with the coming of the Messiah, Kali Yuga will begin.
Who is it?
But as Lalit returned, they immediately ended the conversation and no chance came up to return to the topic. They made some small talk and after finishing their meal, they headed back. Kiran learned a lot of new information. Madhu insisted on accompanying Kiran home to ensure his safety. When it was time to say goodbye, Yaya smiled.
Thanks for joining us for lunch. See you at Kalipuya?
Kalipuya? Is it coming soon?
It's starting very soon. The most anticipated event of the year, followed by your sister's wedding, of course.
My wedding? When did I ever agree to a wedding?
I'm so tired of hearing about it.
Lalit was being malicious, of course. She purposely brought up the topic because she couldn't wait to talk about it.
My sister? Amala?
Yes, the one everyone's talking about. With my cousin.
Yeah, no. This sounds like a forced marriage. This sounds like arranged marriage by the gods. And yeah, no. The way they're like pulling all of those strings, everyone is actually just pulling my leg at this point. I mean, on one hand, I know that AMRIT loves us. He truly does. But still, the fact that everyone like is acting like this, it sounds like arranged marriage to me. Like if someone like would come up like this to me and say, yeah, your wedding will be in 2 weeks, I would say no. No.
With AMRIT to buy?
Well, Rishi was already taken. What kind of question is that, Kiran? Don't you know?
She didn't say anything, but you're probably right. It's the way she looks at him.
It's the way she looks at him, yeah.
But marriage? Kiran!
This is in London. We don't date for years. Marriage first, then the rest.
Are you kidding me?
My husband couldn't wait to marry me after meeting me. But fine, this is a conversation for another time.
Lali threw the maid an annoyed look and said nonchalantly,
Let's have a chat at the booya, away from prying eyes. Father will at Calicut in the morning. There's a big celebration planned.
Having agreed to see each other at the festival, everyone said goodbye.
The look she gave this Madhu, something about her is clearly bugging Lalit.
'Cause she's fine as well. Meanwhile, the room smelled of coffee and old paper. Once everyone managed to get some sleep and eat a proper meal, they went back to work. Oh, can we see our friends now? Yes.
If the very first ritual murder was committed as a distraction, so that the massacre in Kaligrami could go unpunished.
That's so brutal.
So he's completely brainless.
Yes.
Digging into one single murder instead of investigating a massacre.
Gary no longer was sporting a bandit. He was sitting down with his usual cup of coffee, acting as if he hadn't gone crazy just a couple of days earlier. However, Grant still didn't look fine, although he tried to pretend that he hadn't really now. Like, that's horrible.
We already know that the local authorities favor the Dubais and everything and are the to many
spineless cowards. In their place, I would have done the same. No. Honestly, spineless cowards. Who needs criminals when you have such police officers? Like, turning a blind eye on literally every single crime that is being committed on your land is... Bruh.
Maybe they were just afraid to get caught in the middle of a fight between two of the most influential families in the state. Respect, let's go. What do you think, Amala? I remember last time you immediately said that there could have been other victims in the village. Yeah. But I didn't mean the whole village. Still, you were partially right. I know, I'm great. Your colleagues remembered your assumption in the past. Yeah, I know, I'm great. I glanced at Lima and Killian, who looked nervous and wary. Even Gabriel showed a trace of irritation in his usual unwavering calm. I suddenly realized that the deeper and harder we dug, the more we got stuck in what we simply couldn't handle. There are so many details that no one will ever explain to us. Kindness of God's path. There was no point running myself ragged. If I joined the local elite, all the answers were going to be revealed naturally. The Caliga and the Dosen were waiting for me to lead them, or at least join them, but it was different for Killian, Lima, and Gabriel. They were definitely going to fight the sect, and the Caliga wouldn't spare them. They'd do to them what they did to anyone who got in their way. They'd destroy them. I didn't want to bloodshed on either side. Lima and Killian were not to blame for what they couldn't change, and it wasn't my fault that I wanted to join a group of people who felt close to me. I was the heiress of a noble family. I was destined to keep my family name alive, to restore my legacy. That didn't make me bloodthirsty. I felt like I had ended up between a rock and a hard place. We're not only up against the sect, but the entire state. Everyone here trembles before the Dosen. Do any of you really believe that we stand a chance? Are you ready to give up on it all? You were the one who wanted to get to the bottom of this. I feel more confident here than you. My family lived here, but I'm scared for you, and I don't want anything awful to happen. Amala, I don't like what you're saying. It sounds like you're sending mixed messages. The path of loyalty and kindness of Goddess make you want to avoid cruelty, but you support Shaktism and the Dosen. Okay. Now I know what I'm not gonna do in the replay. I suppose goodness of Kali, like goodness of the goddess, means that we support everything that she does. If we have like the negative points as the rage of the goddess, that means that we don't support this at all. And I don't support all this murder. I do believe that that they actually believe that this is for a right cause, but in the end they're only committing murders for a bigger evil. Like, they're not actually better. Like, they actually, as technically the way they said it, it means that after those 9 murders, they're gonna wait, I don't know, for 2 years or something, or just until Kalipuya is done, and then they're gonna do the 9 murders again. Like, it will never stop. So I'm not supporting it at all. Really? After what I saw in Klipagrami, I realized that the locals are not afraid to be cruel, even to their own allies. Imagine what will happen to foreigners. That's enough. We'll stick to our original plan. Everyone fell silent for a few moments, processing the conversation. I can't. Suddenly a woman came into the room, took a mug, poured herself some coffee, and glanced at us. Grant. Lightwood, finally I found you. Jane. Good afternoon. Amala, Lima, this is Jane Reed from the secretarial team. We exchanged smiles. I haven't seen you in years. Have you been at the embassy for a long time? Actually, yes. I thought I'd work here for 6 months to get some experience, and here I am on my 3rd year in Calcutta. I heard that you were all sent here, but I didn't seem to ever run into you. The ambassador is going nuts because of you. What kind of team are you putting together, Gabriel? I don't think I should discuss that with you. Ooh! Jane laughed as if Grant had made a hilarious joke. Girl, who do you think you are? You're always like that, but seriously, Killian? It's classified, Reed. What's with the questions? You meanies. Fine, good luck with your work. Jane waved to us and left. She left her coffee here. What a weird woman. She came just to chat. I bet she knew you'd be here. She didn't really need a coffee. Don't mind her. She's a gossip. Your thoughts will play a role in the story. Okay. Actually,
the first encounter can also mislead, okay? Like, you shouldn't always count on your first encounter. Like, everyone can have a bad day, but the way she, like, acted, it actually seemed like she only wanted to get information out of us, and then she wanted to bolt.
Don't talk about this with anyone, okay? You're free to go while I deal with the mercenaries.
We got up from the table and went to the office to pick our things. Okay. Think about what you're going to do next. Let's meet at the Booyah. I'm going home. I need to get ready for the festival and talk to my brother. With that, I left the room.
What's the matter with you today?
What do you mean?
You've changed your opinion on everything. Is that what happened in Klippagrami overwhelming you this much?
I gave a nervous laugh. Aren't you bothered by it at all?
It only confirmed that I'm headed in the right direction.
But this could be your very last journey, you know. You got involved in something that we probably can't handle.
I'm going to tell you something I rarely tell people, Amala.
Grant came closer, looking at me calmly. Okay. He gently put his hand on my shoulder and said,
You can do this. I've seen how determined you can be. It can be annoying at times.
Thank you. Is this you trying to complimenting me? Is this you trying to compliment me, Gabriel?
Fine, I changed my mind. No more words of support from me, sir.
He motioned to step back, but I caught his hand. I looked into his amber eyes. Not so fast. Grant looked slightly annoyed, but still didn't pull away from me. He smirked as if he found me funny. Damn, he's so attractive at times. Wow.
Well, are you that happy with me saying that you can be annoying?
Yes. Of course, Mr. Grant, your grumbling's all part of your charm. Facts. He broke character just for a second, smiling broadly and shrugging his shoulders.
I'm pretty good at that.
I noticed that. Ooh, okay. It was disarming. For a moment, I regretted that he was the one who had become my boss because I really wanted to kiss him. Free of any thoughts, doubts, or fear, with not even time to catch hold on that thought, I took a step forward and pulled Gabriel toward me. I kissed him right in his office. The smile didn't even have time to fade from his face. Oof. I'm a horrible person. He froze, his body tensed. The pleasure of touching his full lips lasted for a few moments. Then I came to my senses, opened my eyes, and jerked away. That's not...
Amala.
He caught my hand, his gaze surprised and almost judgmental. Gabriel had hinted more than once at the fact that he found me attractive and that he was interested in me, but a lot had changed since then. Our lives were now hanging in the balance, and there was no time for romance. We looked at each other in silence for a moment, and then Grant spoke in a soft voice.
Right now it'd be very inconvenient.
I know. He squeezed my hand as I moved once again to pull away.
Wait.
It seemed like he wanted to justify himself somehow, to say something, but instead he pulled me closer. He leaned in a little and whispered,
Let me try again.
I'm sorry? Oh. Oh. So, okay. What I'm doing is horrible.
And this is all just for you?
All just for you. What we're doing right now, you cheating with Gabriel on your love interest is not gonna come out, or he can be a little fling. Okay. He covered my lips with his. It was a quick, chaste, almost tentative kiss. I put my hands on his chest, casting aside all thoughts. They were useless now. Gabriel seemed to think the same as he made our kiss deeper and longer, placing his hand on my waist. He'd always been the type to dislike insubordination. He'd always strictly followed all the rules and regulations, but one spontaneous kiss had shattered all his beliefs. Grant stopped abruptly and took 2 steps back.
Okay, I'm losing control.
And I really don't like that. My apologies, but I like to have the control. It might scare you, but we have no real control over life.
What a great time to get philosophical.
Sir, philosophical. I'll go. I didn't want to feel awkward. I picked up my bag and headed for the door. Gabriel called out to me. Amala, let's figure this out when we're done with everything. I didn't say anything and just left his office. There's growing passion between you and Gabriel. I hate myself. I mean, I asked for this, I really did.
Later in the day, I met with Kiran. He told me about Lalit and Yaya's visit, as well as the fact that Vimal Dubai would be at the Kalighat on the first day of the festival.
Yeah, I mentioned some kind of messiah. I didn't have time to ask her because Lalit came back. She probably won't discuss her father's affairs with anyone.
What exactly did you say about the messiah, Kiran?
Do you know something already?
Very little.
Then you first have to admit that I'm a very cool, helpful guy,
Kiran. Are you being serious? I waved my hand, letting him enjoy his little victory. You're a very cool, helpful guy. Pleased with himself, Kiran immediately continued.
Yeah, he said that the Vimal is afraid of the Messiah. Devadas Dubai knows more about it, but he keeps quiet.
Afraid? In what sense?
I have no idea. You should go to the temple and ask him about everything. You said Vimal helped Grandma and Mom escape, right? What if he helps us too? He seems like a good person.
Compared to Devadas, sure. He was so worried about her when she decided to run away. Maybe I could turn to Vimal and he'll help me. You remember that Indira trusted Vimal when she escaped.
I can come with you, right? I don't want to be alone again. I start having all of these sorts of thoughts when that happens.
What thoughts? Now I'm starting to understand the reason why he's been feeling strange. Could this be part of some kind of ritual? As Ratan said, the Basu's blood has nothing to do with it. Kiran is in danger.
I don't know how to describe it, but at times consciousness and reality seem to get blurred. I no longer understand where I am or what I'm doing. But it's much better when I'm not alone.
Fine. Come to the festival with me. It's better to stick together. It was getting late. I sent my brother to bed and I did too. A few days later, it was the first day of Kali Puja. I got up early to get ready for the festival. Kiran remained at home to get a little more sleep and said he would come later with the others. I didn't object and got on with my day. Okay. Oh, I love red. I love red. Got my hair styled. It suits the dress. To complete the look, a merchant offered me some jewelry. Oh, those were bracelets? Modesty jewelry. Ooh, yes, because they suit the outfit. Oh god, I love this red. Ooh, love it all. I couldn't wait to get to the temple and see Vimal. I noted with sadness that the thought of the puja no longer brought me to the same joy and excitement. Everything had turned into work, even the bright traditional festivals. Girl, you came here for work in the first place. Cheerful music was playing everywhere and people had arranged a procession with pictures and symbols of the goddess Kali. Yeah, Kali is not having it for me. There were altars on every street, each one more colorful than the other. People celebrated the bloodthirsty, strong, and ruthless side of the goddess, her rage painted everywhere. Her laughing face was looking at me, sticking out her tongue with a menacing look. Kindness of Goddess path. Don't look at me like that, Mahadevi. I'm doing my best, but the path to my goal is challenging. Your children have done a good job. I had to squeeze through the crowd to get to the temple, where everyone was trying to gather. Honestly, though, the goddess of Kali is actually the perfect way for AMRIT's route. Some people turned to look at me. They frowned as if they recognized me, then turned away.
It's her, whatever, don't get in her way.
Some people stepped aside when they noticed me. Path of mid-respect, some people in Calcutta have heard about you. Maybe my outfit caught their attention? The first hall was crowded, Hans and even Yashvi, who was decorating the temple. There was no point in looking for Vimal there. He was in the second hall, which of course was closed to the public.
Oh, you can't go in there. There's a private meeting. You shouldn't even breathe the same air as those people.
I know how to get in. I don't have to do anything. Am I a bazoo or what? If you don't want to lose your tongue, step aside and be quiet.
That though. Really?
Watch your tone.
as you talk to the Basu heiress, you idiot, whose money was used to build half of the temples in the city, huh? I only need to snap my fingers and you'll spend the rest of your life in prison.
The man was taken aback, unable to meet my confident gaze. His eyes started around nervously. The people watching us hesitated and fell silent. They began whispering, discussing the return of the long-awaited Basu heiress. The man didn't dare contradict me and stepped aside. Yeah, you better get out of my way. You don't need a shortcut to get what's yours. You can stand up for yourself. I'm sorry, miss. I must have lost my head in the joy of the booyah. He let me in. He better lets me in. Vaimel and Rishi were standing in front of the main mural. Noticing me, they greeted me surprised. Amala? Hello, I didn't expect to see you here. Aye, may the Great Mother be merciful to you. Right. Have you come to celebrate the festival, or did Devadas send you an errand? I'm not a dog to be ordered around. I'm only interested in my own affairs. Independence. Vaimel nodded, pursuing his lips. Of course, I'm sorry. I completely forgot whose granddaughter you are. Devadas can't push you around, just like he couldn't push Indira around. It made him so mad, and I was so amused by it. You have no idea. Right. Do you remember my mother and grandmother well? Very well. I was close to them. When I would get scolded by my brother, I got angry with him. The Vadas wouldn't tolerate any insolence, so I would run away to the Basus estate, where they were always kind to me. I know it was you who helped them flee from India. Vaimel flinched but tried to remain calm. There were noises, and music outside. No one could hear us, but he lowered his voice anyway. Who told you? I saw it myself in my dreams. You have visions? Don't interrupt, son. Ooh! But father, the prophecy about Messias is Rishi. Tell me about this prophecy. Who's the dozen waiting for, Mr. Dubai? Vaimel spread his hands. He didn't look very pleased. You see, it's all very vague. Brahms never say anything clearly, especially when it comes to such an ambiguous event. But I need to know. I'm sure it's connected to my family leaving. I still don't know why they did that. The Vadas is trying to keep it secret, Amala, so that the other families won't try to pull off something like that. Come on, tell me. I'll keep your secret and you'll keep mine. My secret? What secret? That you helped? It was your idea, wasn't it? Their escape. You said that the Vadas had become quite unstable. Considering the warm relationship you had with the Basus, I understand your desire to protect them. Amala, are you blackmailing me? Nope. One hand washes the other. Me? No, of course not. But how can I appreciate your contribution to the future of my family if I don't even know the reason for your decision? Rishi grinned, crossing his arms. That's who I should learn negotiation tactics from. Rishi? Yes. We stand Rishi. I can but agree, son. And what did you see in your dreams, Amala? No, that's not what we're talking about now. It's enough for you to understand that I know a lot. Smart and cunning. You could really get your family's affairs in order. I'm trying. That's why I came to see you today. Vaimel took a sip of wine, as if buying himself some time to consider whether he should talk. Well, times were tough, Amala. You have to understand. When he started his story, I could almost see it play out in front of my eyes. The prophecy has been made. There are no more than a couple of decades left before the onset of Kali Yuga. It's not much. It's enough to give Mother what she wants. Blood, atonement for her sins, worship of her power. But whose blood? We've been making human sacrifices for many years. That though. If that's not enough for her, what else can we give? Justina question hung in the air. None of the dozen present at the council dared to answer it. A young woman from a family of booksellers spoke up. I guess it's the blood of the nobles. The purer blood, the more valuable it is. Mahadevi wants to get enough of it. You don't know what you're talking about. To kill our own. Devadas raised his hand to silence Indira. She shot him an annoyed look.
I'm not your wife for you to have the right to shut me up.
She said, I'm not your wife. You can't shut me up.
It makes sense, Indira. Remember, to quench the thirst of the devotees, Mahadeva Kali cut off her head and gave her blood to everyone who needed it. Now that she's the one who needs it, we have to do the same.
I have to cut off my head. Vaimo! Oh my gosh, he looks so cute.
But we cannot sacrifice ourselves and our hairs. Someone has to rule Bengal. Then it will be our second children.
Wow. Oh my god.
Out of love for this world, out of love for our Mahadevi.
Oh my god. This is actually a cult. I am weak. I mean, we know that it already was a cult, but seeing it even more, I'd say, is pretty shocking. There is no love in such a decision. Especially not for your family.
Understand that it's hard for you to accept this, but the Kaligar thinks on a bigger scale than one of simple human attachments. We think about the world, not about ourselves. The price paid was incredibly high, but the reward given by the mother was also very valuable.
What exactly did she give us? Oh my god. I turned my head to the mural, thinking about what the children had to go through.
One night the Dark Mother came to every member of the sect in her dreams. She showed us how scary Kali Yuga was going to be. She showed us what would happen if we didn't appease her. Death, famine, pain, destruction, and abyss of horror.
Wow. So that's what Grandma was afraid of. She didn't want to sacrifice her son?
Yes, Kamal was quite grown up at the time. But the main reason was another one. She was afraid of what Mother had shown her. The Messiah whose coming was predicted by the Brahim Yuga would start the Yuga. Indira knew that Kali Yuga would start partly because of them, because of the Pasus, and to prevent this from coming true, she ran away with Yoshina.
You found out important information, soon it will be useful to you. Because of the Pasus?
Yes, it goes like this. The Messiah will come on the eve of Durga Puja before the upcoming Kali Yuga. The child of mixed blood will be the beginning of everything.
Oh, that's why they want us to marry him so bad. Mixed? What's that supposed to mean? The child between us and Amrit. Rishi sighed wearily, as he probably had heard this story many times before.
Don't you know?
What?
The Dubais and the Pasus have been united by a relationship for a long time already. It's about their future child, the child of a mixed marriage.
Yeah. Okay. I am weak. So, yeah, I already knew. It sounded to me more like a arranged marriage and not like a part of some psycho prophecy. But I think I understood what this is supposed to be. Like, it is written in destiny or in some sort of prophecy that we are gonna be carrying the child of Amrit, the child of a mixed race, and that's gonna start the World War. Yeah, that's gonna start the World War. Like, as soon as our child is born, like the child from me and Amrit, Kali is gonna appear. I suppose she's gonna sacrifice that child then? And is gonna have enough power or something like that. I don't know. Well, this was very interesting. I hope you enjoyed. Tell me in the comments below what you think was best, and I will see you in another episode. Bye.